Give me any issues. Don't give me any issues there. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Between a Pot and a Hard Place. I'm Stephen Colton.
And I'm Chris Kirkpatrick.
And we got a little delay tonight, but it's cool, you know. And we have Lee Newton here waiting, and I'm excited for this one. You know,
I really am too.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We've got one of her songs we're gonna play later. But yeah, let's not put it off anymore. Here she is.
Hey,
hello,
guys. Hey, I'm so excited.
I am
Hey,
too.
Lee.
Hey,
Yeah,
Chris.
I feel like I've been following you on Facebook here recently. Like I already kind of know you a little bit, but it's great to meet you in person now. So
I know.
welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so glad to be on with both of you guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I gotta say that the one thing that was really cool was what you did with that guitar. I thought that was the most amazing thing, and I hadn't even thought that you would put my name on your guitar.
Right.
But
Of course.
I know, but I was really blown away and touched by the gesture. Where did you get the idea to do that in the first place?
Oh my gosh. Well, on TikTok, of course, I had seen what a fellow musician, he had done that. And I thought, oh, wow, that is just absolutely amazing. And so I thought, well, I'm going to put it out there for my fans, to do the same thing. And so it just started getting more and more overwhelming, like between TikTok, and then I brought it over to Facebook and Instagram, and everybody started sharing it. I'm literally going to have to get another guitar to start writing names, because I feel so bad. Because I'm like, okay, can I squeeze somebody in here,
Yeah, it sounds like a good problem to have, though, right?
Well, I was so excited, but so humble, just because of all the stories I kept getting from everybody. It's been just an emotional few days, actually, just from, I put out Strength of a Woman, where everybody's going to be sending, they've been sending pictures. The women have been sending pictures to be on the video.
That's great.
Because I want to air it on Valentine's Day. So
Awesome.
I'm telling you, the outpouring of pictures from these women. It's not just pictures of these women. These women are sending pictures of their mothers, their aunts, their friends, their grandmas, and all these stories that are going along with it of survivors. It's literally been a very emotional day. I'm gonna have to make 15, 20 videos to get everybody.
Oh wow, that
sounds like a great project. Yeah. I know we were really honored by you doing that. So again, thank you so much for it.
You are so welcome. And like I said, it was just such a great idea. And I wanted to carry it over to everybody, all my friends and stuff. And I just thought that was just an amazing thing, and something just to give back to everybody that takes their time to support me through all of this. Because it is just me, I do everything on my own. But I couldn't do any of it without everybody. I mean, everybody has pushed me to where I am right now. And I couldn't even give them enough thanks.
I think it's great that they kind of recognize your fans and how important they are to you.
They're very, very important. And it's just like I was talking to George the other night. It feels weird calling them fans. Like I'm so invested. I mean, and I do. Like I set up after Get Cash to Sleep. I'm up all hours of the night responding back to people. I feel bad if I can't respond to every single body. Sometimes it does get a little overwhelming, and I have to get a little sleep.
Yeah.
But I do. I feel like I've got connections with each and every one of them, and so I do want to say thank you to them, because if they take the time to sit and invest that time to comment and follow me, and really invest to sit down and comment and listen to my songs and listen to what new thing I've got going on, it's the best I can do to sit there and respond back to them. So
Yeah, I gotta say, like that first night I started listening to your music, I sat there like all night watching all the videos. I was like, "This is good. Oh, it's so good. It's so good."
There's a lot
And then,
that night.
there was a lot of songs I kept finding on there. Then I found the YouTube and everything, and I found Simple Man. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great."
Now, Simple Man is oh my gosh, that's one of my all-time favorite songs to sing. And like I
Mhm,
think I was telling you, Stephen,
mhm,
I talked to Artemis, which is the original drummer for Leonard Skinner,
mhm.
and we were sitting there talking on the phone. It's probably about, I don't know, 2 months ago, because it was right after I did the song live on the release party at the At 138 concert venue here in Forest City, and I had done Simple Man, and Artemis was like, "Well, how do you change the words to it?" And I'm like, "I don't, Artemis." I said, "I sing it exactly the way it is." And I said, "But my perspective is, back in my 20s when my older son was small, I remember getting him up on stage with me, and I would sing that song and slow dance to him. And it was kind of like a mother's perspective. When I sang it, it was almost like a mother singing it to her son. And then when I did the song a few months ago, my older son was sitting in the audience with his girlfriend. And so here, the surreal moment, I look over and, and it says, "You'll find a woman and you'll find love," and I'm singing the song once again to him. So I was like, it's from a different perspective,
Mhm.
but Simple Man is my favorite.
I really loved what you did with that song, and in my family, it's one of our favorites. My father-in-law was in a rock band, and they covered that song, and
Oh,
he
wow.
passed about 7 years ago. But whenever we hear that song, it just brings us back, and so you certainly did that for me. I know that you have a connection with Leonard Skinner somehow.
I
Did you sing with
do.
them, or
Well,
how did
I,
you
when
do that?
well, well, I'll start from how it began a little bit. I literally had done a show, and you're probably familiar with this, Stephen, over
Mhm.
in Asheville at the Orange Peel.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
So we had done a show, my first band that I was ever in. We had done a show there, and Artemis closed the show. So he came in with his little boy River at the time, and they were getting together and stuff. And so I had did my first part of the show, went backstage. Artemis comes up behind the backstage, and he's like, "You rock." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is
Wow.
Artemis."
High
Oh my
praise, high
gosh.
praise.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow." So after that, I had him, I took a picture with him and stuff, and I just kept it in a picture frame for a few months down the road. I had moved over to Otane in Asheville, and I had talked to one of the ladies that lived across the road. She's like, she knew I was in a band, and she's like, "Yeah, there's a guy up the road. He plays drums, some Artemis dude." And I'm like, "Artemis? Oh my gosh, there's only one Artemis. It
Wow.
has to be him." So here I go, walking up with my little picture, like being the fangirl. And I knock on his door, and so he opens the door, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember you. Come on in." He signed it for me, and I got to hold the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame trophy that they had just won. It
Wow.
had just got that award and got
Wow.
inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of
That's
Fame.
awesome.
Yeah. So months went by, and then I get a call from, or a message from, his tour manager that was at the time in New York. And they asked me to come and do some shows in New York and Long Island, and with the original Honkettes, which was Leslie and JoJo, and then of course Artemis. So I was like, "Oh, this can't be right." I'm just a little Canton girl. I've never been anywhere, and but anyway, they asked me. It turned out to be right. I did a show in Manhattan with them, which was really cool because it was done. Spin Magazine was there, and they had done a big write
Wow.
up on it. And then we did a show a couple weeks later. I flew back to New York, and we did a show at the Patchogue Theater in Long Island, which Charlie Daniels had just played there like that week before. So it was just
Wow.
cool. It was like really, really cool, and the stories that they told. And I know, like Artemis, on the second trip we made, we missed the plane coming back. So the limo driver took us, and we rented a Monte Carlo, and he drove all the way from New York all the way back to Asheville. So it was like 9 hours
Ooh.
of Skinner stories that I heard.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
Wow.
Good times. Good times.
So many people would pay money
Yeah,
to ride
you
in that
must-
car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that just must have been like, you must have been on cloud nine.
I was, and being I was 29 at the time, because I'll never forget it, because JoJo said that was how old she was when Sweet Home Alabama came out, and that's when they was in their prime, right before the plane crash, and she was talking about being the same age as I was, and that she just was just over the moon, about being there, and I'm like, well, I feel the same way right now,
Yeah.
and but just they were so good to me, and they just kind of took me in. They called me the wrong. I can't even get my words there. The rookie punkette. I was getting them mixed up.
You got a
Yeah.
nickname from the whole thing too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
Sweet Tea
Sweet
was my
tea.
nickname.
Sweet tea.
Mhm.
Nice. Nice. So
But,
have you
the
always
reason I
known?
got that, because he was in New York, and I kept asking for sweet tea,
Ah,
Okay.
and there was no sweet tea, and they made fun of my accent big time.
I'm sure. Yeah. It's a big difference
love
up there, I guess. It's great. I like it.
yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'm used,
have you
I'm
always-
used to those.
It's not as common here in Southern California where I am, but I love it. I had wanted to ask you, have you always known that you wanted to be a performer? Is that like something you've been doing for a long time?
Yes, from the time I was very, very small. I mean, like even 3 and 4, my sister remembers they had like a little organ, and my dad had come in. And my dad was very musical, and his side of the family was really musical. But my sister had said that she was trying to act like she was playing the organ, and I would act like I'm singing, and that was about 3. And then when I was 7 is when my dad started teaching me how to play the guitar. And he was like, "You're going to be a singer one day." He named me Brenda Lee after Brenda Lee, the one that sings "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree." So
Okay,
he knew I was going. He wanted me to be a singer anyway. But he always like, you're going to be on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry one day. You're going to do it. So I always loved singing, and I sang with him at the cab stand. That's the time that we'd spend together. But I really didn't know that I really wanted to be a singer until I saw Lorrie Morgan on stage. And when I saw Lorrie Morgan on stage, and she was so classy and just so beautiful, and she just had this, I remember her having this beautiful dress on, and she was up on there and the lights, and I'm like, I want to be her. I want to be like her.
That's great. We got a bunch of comments coming up on here just talking about how great you are. I mean, okay, there's Troy saying she's so awesome and a blessing. And then I caught the live, which I'm guessing that was talking about the show here at the Orange Peel, maybe.
Yeah.
She's such a strong woman. Love talking with her. I do too. You are awesome. I love talking with you. Hi. She's a wonderful person, an amazing friend, and inspiration to everyone.
Aww.
So many great
Cry.
comments. I mean, it kind of keeps going,
Wow.
Because Lee has always been there for me when people have always bullied me and mistreated me. She's always gives great advice. I mean, a lot of sweet comments.
Wow.
And there's a couple of paragraphs that I'm not gonna, but I mean, it's hard to put this. What's the thing about these live shows? It's like when you get a lot of comments, it's like, oh, when do we put them on here? Wow, oh gosh.
Oh, wow.
Just keep
But
them
it's
coming.
great.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, I love
clearly-
hearing
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got. Here's the big one. Proud to have been and still be your sissy and fan for all these years. So incredibly happy for you that all your dreams are finally being realized. You deserve it because you've worked so hard. I told you day one, no matter of it, only a matter of when. You're a beautiful talent, beautiful woman, beautiful heart and soul.
Oh, I love you, Tony. Oh my gosh. You guys are going to make me cry. I mean, you're going to make me look like Alice Cooper. I start singing Poison or something.
There you go. Nice
That wouldn't be a
twist.
bad thing. Wouldn't be a bad.
Oh, it'd be great. Yeah, I didn't realize so many comments were.
So you mentioned you mentioned. I know. We're blowing up. So you mentioned Lorrie Morgan being an inspiration. Who else has been kind of an inspiration for you?
Oh gosh, several different people. Deborah Allen, she's another one, and she's one of my Facebook friends, and she is absolutely amazing. She has just gorgeous pipes, beautiful soul. and she's very classy. I've just always like looked at those women like as role models, you know.
Mhm.
I do. I love Bonnie Raitt. Susan Tedeschi is like, I love the blues. So Susan Tedeschi is who I kind of look forward to that, to get more, a little bit more grittier and just stuff. And then of course I just love the Southern rock. Leonard Skinner was a huge influence. And like I tell everybody, I love the old country. I love rock, Southern rock, and I love blues. So if I can mix
Mhm.
those three together, that's me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm a little fireball from, from the mountains of North Carolina.
Yeah,
There you
I think
go.
it's cool. Steven and I have talked about how we both have sort of been, raised on country music, right? And I can't listen to country and not like think of home, right?
Mhm.
That was the music that was always kind of playing whenever I was around my parents, right? What is country music? What does that mean to you? Why is that so important?
Why is it so important? My dad is why it's so important. I lost my dad when I was 11, and from him teaching me how to play the guitar, and I was always around him. Like I said, I hung out the capstan all the time. That was my time to be with him. And so I remember listening to Hank Sr. and I remember Patsy Cline being the first woman that I ever got to like listen to. I had a little cassette tape and I knew I was singing one of her songs tonight, you know.
Mhm.
But when I hear any music, but if I hear older country music, it really makes me think of my dad, and I feel like a part of my dad's with me. So country music to me, not only that, but it has gotten me through, or music in general, but country music has gotten me through a lot of stuff throughout my life. A lot of hardships, a lot of, and it goes to anybody
Mhm.
that does that, I'm sure has the same story. They went through a breakup, they've had this song that reminds them of this, or sometimes people can't get out in words what music does, and they
Mhm.
can play a song and be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. I might not be able to say it, but this is what I'm feeling. And like I was telling Stephen, every song that I sing, either it's something that I want somebody to say to me, or it's something that I have been through and I want, I can live it and feel it. Because I feel like if you can sing a song that you really relate to, then, you can touch more people with it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, I certainly understand what you mean about music as like cheap therapy, right? That there's something about music that just like touches us deep down. I know growing up, that's how it was, right? I would go off and kind of sing by myself as a way to deal with things.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not the only person, that has turned to music when times were tough. So I
Well, and
totally get what you're talking about.
yeah, and it's so like, and it's certain. Just the other night, I had sang and posted a song, "The Reason," perfect example, and I had so many people comment to me just about how it touched them, and just and even comments in my inbox like, "Oh my gosh, that song really helped me," or and it's just wild how much music heals you, or music makes you feel certain emotions and stuff. It's magical, and it's even more magical. It is such a high being on stage when you're actually get to be on stage performing.
Oh gosh.
It's it's un you can't even describe it. I mean, you just have such a rush from being up there, and it never
Mhm.
gets out of your system. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
there.
it's a
It's there.
it's a different kind of energy than
Yes.
recording it in the studio, right? I
Oh,
mean, you kind of play off the audience and
yeah.
all that kind of thing. So
Well, I have
yeah.
done the bands, and it's been a while since I've been in a band. I did have a live show, a few months ago, but that was the first time I had been in front of a live audience in 7 years. So,
Oh wow.
yeah. So all the years from my like early 20s on up until 7 years ago, I had been, gigging as they call it, and doing the shows and getting in 3 or 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and doing it every weekend. Then 3 years ago, I started doing more of that home, trying just to get my therapy is singing wise, getting it from my living room out to people. And it's it's went from there, and people just started like, requesting songs, the fan base started building more and more. And it's just like everything, God's timing. He started just sprinkling this and sprinkling that, and leading it up to certain events and just making it. He's made it happen, and everybody, all my fans, they've just been so supportive. And but yeah, it's literally and then even going from that to going to a studio, there's no feeling like writing a song and having it progress from the living room, writing it from a vulnerable place to going and having it created in the studio and the musicians adding magic to it, and then receiving it and being able to send it out to the world, and then you see everybody getting touched by it. That's a whole different high.
Yeah. Sure. I'm so glad that you brought up the fact that you write your own stuff and you do covers of other people. What is sort of your process to go through when you write a song?
Well, I guess everybody has their own different thing. There for the longest, I knew I had a lot in me because I have lived my life, and I have went through hardship. I've went through happiness. I've went through pain. I've went through a lot. And I knew that I had it in me to write, but I never had the confidence, and I never thought I could write. And all of a sudden one day, like, I just started just mouthing words, and I ended up writing Daddy's Little Girl. But from that point on, I don't know if it gave me a little bit of confidence or what, but like now my process is I get something on my mind and I just start singing away, and it sounds stupid, or something just comes out, and I will record little bits and pieces, and I might have it together in an hour. It might take me a month and a half, but pieces will come together, and it's like, oh my gosh, that goes with that's the song, and I'll get my guitar and I sit and just strum it and play. And I've wrote a lot of songs in the last several months.
I'm sure there's been a lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, I know my process. I'm a writer first and a musician second, and so it's one of those things where I will write out my verses, and then I will plunk it onto the piano and play it and sing along to it. And so anyway, I've always just kind of admire the process and the way that artists kind of think their way through things. So thank you for sharing that. That's really cool.
Well, it's just like with Strength of a Woman. I remember driving down the road, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm a warrior, just kind of doing it. And then I started putting stuff with it. And I wrote that song literally, and I probably wrote it within a day and a half in the car going down the road, taping little bits and pieces, just kind of putting it together. And then I came home and got my guitar and I started playing. I'm like, wow, but yeah, now that song is that, and Daddy's Little Girl is my favorites out of the ones I've wrote so far.
That's really amazing. Inspiring, honestly. It makes me want to go grab a notebook and be like, okay, I'm going to write one now.
Hey, you can do it, Stephen. You can do it.
I've done something like that before where I was like, oh, that sounds neat. And like record it. And then I've been trying to write, not music, but like a movie script. I've always wanted to do that. And a lot of people, I was like, you should do it. And every person we've talked to about writing of any kind, they're always like, would just write and then kind of go over it later and kind of mold it into what it's going to be. And it's hard for me to get past that the first time. And then I just stop for 2-3 months and don't write anything but I just need to really get in there and just do it.
Okay, Stephen, you're going to write my story, and it's going to be called The Cab Driver's Daughter.
That's actually, I could see that in my head. Like, I think that would be a great story.
Yeah. And then it'll take it all the way till I get to the stage of the Grand Ole Opry.
I'm wondering who I'm going to get to play me on this scene in the movie. I don't know. Maybe I've heard I look like Quentin Tarantino a little
Brad
bit.
Pitt, right? Brad Pitt will play.
Brad Pitt.
Hey, there we go.
Maybe.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
Who knows?
I'll get Jennifer Aniston to play me here. There we go.
I
love Jennifer Aniston.
So you mentioned the Opry. Like, how how much would it mean to you to walk on that stage, right? Considering everybody that's been there before, like what would that do to you?
Honestly, there are no words that I would be able to even say tonight or any night that would describe the feeling of getting to play the Opry. And playing the Opry, it's not about, oh gosh, I want to just go play it. It means so much because they invite you to play. It don't matter how big you are or how many records you've sold. It's about your morals and what they think of you as a person, and what, just to be asked to play on the Opry, such the most prestige honor that I think that any artist could have. And to me, by them, if they ever ask me to play, that's when I'll say I've made it. That's what I want to say, that I've made it by playing there. Because it's not about making it big and having money and all. And I want to be able to play for people. I want to be able to share my songs. I want to meet people. I want to get up there and have a great time and sing. And I want to, and I will. I'm speaking it into existence. I will be on the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like what you said. I'm going to speak it into existence, man.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the times that I've accomplished things in my life, I have done exactly that. I've spoken it into existence. I've made a goal, and I have simply pointed my feet in that direction and kept pushing through.
Yes.
And so, Lee, I believe in you. You're going to make it to the Opry.
Absolutely.
I just love you guys.
Yeah.
I just, this has been something I've wanted since I was a little girl. And I know a lot of people are out there. There's so many talented people out there, and they're all so deserving. And, it's amazing at the talent pool that is around. So I just hope that one day that I could just have a little smidgen of it and just be able to get up there and do that, because just to stand in that circle where all the greats have stood, it would just, I don't even know if I could even sing. I would have to do something to keep from crying. I don't know how, how I'd perform, really.
I don't know if I could handle it. Pressure.
My other ultimate goal. I'm sorry, you broke out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the sound went off.
Yeah. Your other goal is?
Oh, my other goal, and I've said this and I will keep saying it and I will speak it into existence. I will do a duet with Lorrie Morgan one day. I want to do an older song. Lorrie, you can pick it. And I want to revamp it and just really, I just want to do a duet with her. That's my other goal. So I have two big goals right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Lorrie, if you're listening to us here tonight, Lee wants to do a duet. So
hey, everybody tag Lorrie Morgan in the comments.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Put it in there. We'll start seeing all these comments pop up.
Right.
That's what we want to see. Yeah, I don't know if I could handle the pressure of like singing. Like I said, I tried to write songs before, and I think, oh, this sounds cool, but then I try to sing it. I'm like, okay, never mind. I never really wanted to sing, honestly, but I like doing it when nobody's around or listening. I'm like, okay, yeah.
But like with Lorrie, now I can say this, and I was over the moon about it. Right before the release of Daddy's Little Girl, I had sent a message to them, and her husband, Randy White, he was like, "Oh, I'm sure she would do it," And then and I was like, "Oh my gosh," they responded, And then next thing he was like, "Yeah, she's going to send it to you, blah blah blah." And then so she sent me not one but two videos congratulating me on the release of Daddy's Little Girl.
Oh wow!
And she had her little granddaughter with her on one of them, and I will cherish those videos. So if I don't get the other, then I did get that. Like that was so over the top, and they played it like right before I did Daddy's Little Girl at the concert. So absolutely amazing.
Here's the Lorrie Morgan tags popping up now.
Oh, She's
So,
probably
yeah.
thinking, who this Lee Newton? She is just
Hey,
not
we're-
going to shut up.
Gonna do we're going to do our part. We are going to do our part. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found out that that's the way you get people to do, not get people to do things, but get people to talk. I
Yeah.
just asked people.
Well, you never know till you ask.
Right. And that's the biggest thing. And I always love the stories that like end up happening when a lot of the times you may not be talking to somebody like on the best of terms. It may be some little like disagreement. And then by the end of it, it's like you're sitting here on a show talking to them. And I've had a couple of them, and that's kind of where we came from.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
where our first main guest, it was a writer and producer of a lot of TV shows, Mark Guggenheim. He same way. I was arguing with him on Twitter, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, what's step back? Like, how are you? Like, want to come onto the show? I never thought he would say yes, but he did.
Yeah.
he's
I mean, it's
he's been back
crazy.
twice. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on twice.
No, I'm
There's
loving these comments.
Yep.
Yay. You guys are
But
the
yeah.
best.
And I'm so glad that I listened to that morning show that day, because had I not, this probably wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, how surreal was how everything came about. Like, and then
Yeah.
we ended, because I mean, people that don't know the backstory to this would laugh.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if you'd want to go into it or not, because I don't want to make anybody
I
seem
don't
like.
want to go into it too much because I don't want to,
Mhm.
but it was like a situation where a lot of misunderstandings were happening on another
Right.
show. And so Stephen was coming to their defense because, he didn't know all the whole thing. And I don't think anybody knew the whole thing. But once we started talking afterwards, and I think maybe you kind of, like listened to what I was saying. And I think we kind of, we had this big disagreement. And then by the end of it, we're like really great friends at talking. And we
Yeah.
said that night and talked, God, 5 or 6 hours straight.
And
Wow,
in between
that's
the
great.
little voice messages, I would listen to your songs, like, oh wow, okay. And then by the end of that night, I'm like, I'm a bad person. Not like I didn't really think that, but I was just like so mad at myself for even like being
I
upset at
know,
all.
but I love you, Stephen. And that's
Aw, thank you.
just the thing about it. Like, you never know,
Right.
what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And now I've, met not only you, I've met you, Chris, and here we are tonight. So
Yeah. It's great.
This is an
Some things are
interesting
just meant to
question. This question, ask her about saying on TikTok she was Juice Newton's daughter.
now who said that?
That was Kathy Green.
Oh, Kathy, I love you. Yeah, everybody's giving me a hard time because my name is Lee Newton.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm Fig Newton's daughter too.
Okay. Yeah, I thought of that one. I was like, okay, well, I wonder if there's going to be something with that.
No, I love TikTok, and TikTok has been so amazing. And even today, something has like happened from me because I posted the thing on Facebook and then on TikTok for people to start sending pictures of their selves for the strength of a woman and people that they thought that they wanted to be in the video. It has majorly took off. It's been a lot going on up there. I can't even keep up with it. I'm like sitting there in awe, just kind of just scrolling. Like, I don't even know where to begin. I would have to sit up for days trying to respond back to everybody. But I appreciate them so much. So, I mean, anybody that's seeing this now, go follow me on TikTok, Lee Newton Music.
Yeah.
really-
It sounds like you need a secretary.
I'm
Right.
gonna have to do something. I mean, it's getting
Yeah.
'cause I feel so bad. Like I said, I mean, I really that means a lot to me to respond to people. Because, and I know this sounds crazy, but like, on TikTok, Edwin McCain, there's a lot of them that's on there now on TikTok. They're using it as a platform to reach people. So Clay Walker had responded back to me, which meant the world to me. I did a duet with Edwin McCain last week. And the few days before that, he even commented to me that my original songs were so great. And I was like, oh, God, Edwin McCain, So then I did a
that's
duet with him that could not ask for more. Well, he responded back and was telling me how beautiful it was. Great job. And he even followed me. So I started bawling like a baby because and I see it from, and I'm on a way lower scale, but when somebody responds back to you, that just means so much, and that meant so much to me. So I just want to do that for other people.
Yeah, it's so validating, right?
It is. And I get that feeling sometimes on Twitter. I'll tweet out to a celebrity or something, and it's like, hey, you're awesome, whatever. And they like it. I see that little like on there. I'm like, oh my God, they liked it. And they didn't respond, but still. It's awesome.
That's exactly right. And I guess that's how, and there are some times where I have to kind of let those comments go. I have to re-clear my mind, and because my OCD starts, I'm like seeing comments that's not replied back to. So then I have to kind of shut that off, start on the new post, and then just try to pick up from there. You know? And even with the guitar signing, I've tried to respond to people, letting them know that they're on there, that I've got them on there. And a lot of people, of course, want to see pictures, and I'm trying my best to see pictures of everybody. But it is so hard to do it, then take a picture, tag. I mean, that's just because I have been putting a lot of names on there. So if I have not got back to you, I will. I promise.
I think it's kind of fun though. It's almost like a Where's Waldo puzzle where you get to look at the thing and like, where am I? Like, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, Stephen and I were asking. We were wondering where on the guitar are our names. Like, are we on the front? Are we on the back?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I will have to find it. I will find it because because when you're sitting there and you've got a Sharpie high.
Oh gosh.
I mean, seriously, those fumes are just like woo. So sitting there and you're flipping it back and forth, finding different places, and I mean, literally, I'm all the way up to the neck, the back part of where.
Oh wow.
Going up the back part of just the handle. I mean. There's no room except for the place I left for Lori Morgan.
It better be a big spot.
It's about that big.
That's a good spot.
I left that much, and it says reserve. So yeah, and I promise, Lori, I'm not like a crazy super fan. A little.
I mean, hey, there's it doesn't. Yeah, I've been that way with other people.
There's just some people that you just I would just love to just sit with her and chill out and just listen to her story of growing up. Her dad was on the Grand Ole Opry, George Morgan, so she grew up with the dad that played, and so it'd just be neat to sit and just pick her brain and listen to her and sing with her, and that'd be awesome.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So
I mean,
I noticed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris. You're good.
No, I had heard that you were the 2020 JMA Vocalist of the Year.
Yes, for multi-genre.
I mean, yeah. How awesome is that?
That was one of the greatest accomplishments that in music that I've ever done, ever. And it all started, I had seen the JMAs throughout the last several years, and to be nominated for more than one category, there's only one category that I could even be nominated because I had not had an original song yet. But I got nominated for that category, and I was like, oh my God, jumping up and down, overwhelmed, because Josie and Tina Pasatino, they are amazing for the independent artists, and they go over and beyond to make sure. I mean, like when you go, you've got red carpet, they're taking pictures. They make it so special for everybody. And every year it just gets more and more and more. So this year, I got there, and, I was not expecting to win because everybody that was in the category with me, I mean, God, they had these amazing videos. They were just like, oh my gosh, they're just like so awesome. And I'm like, wow, And I mean, of course, I do post a lot, and I do sing a lot, and I do interact with my fans, and I do constantly have things in my mind that I get. I mean, I'm always doing something. Every day, I'm doing something. But when they call my name that I won, I literally had to just take a second and be like, what? Really? Like, seriously? Did you just say that? And yeah, so and of course I sit and I look at it all the time. It's just amazing to even have that honor. And hopefully this year, I'll get a nomination. I know the submission forms opened up, so there's several awards with the new songs and their original. And plus, we've got some collaborations. I got the collaboration with Michelle Lee for Liar. Jack Mascari, he's produced it, which the teaser will be out. We're going to do a video teaser of it. And it's going to be kind of like a Miranda and Carrie vibe, but the video to it's going to be kind of like a Thelma and Louise, kind of like just bad to the bone.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's about a wife and a girlfriend, and it's really, really awesome. It's cool, and it's been so great getting to work with different people too. And I've actually got another song that I'm doing with producer Kit Wakely, and he is awesome as well. So just a lot of stuff in the mix that's coming up, and of course my video, because I'm doing an actual video. I hadn't released which one yet that I'm doing the video for, but it'll be coming very soon.
That's exciting.
Well, that'll be fun to see.
I know. I'm so excited.
Now, I know we talked about playing a song on here tonight, and we can still do that if you're still wanting to do that.
Yes.
I didn't know a good time. I didn't want to just throw it on there right away. We wanted to talk a little while, because I know that was one of the things on that first.
Yes, and this will be the first time this song has been played through all the way through, guys. So
really?
I'm hoping there's no little technical issues. If there are, then I've never actually played a full song on one of the shows. I've played little clips, but we'll see how it goes. And if you want, I'll go ahead and do that now.
Yay, let's do it.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Do it.
And this was Go On. I know we talked about it. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Whoop, I clicked it off already. There we go.
Driving down the street, I thought I caught a glimpse of you and her on a park bench right outside of town. You were snuggled up so tight, and I just couldn't believe my eyes felt stupid, falling for your lies. My friends tried to warn me about your games, so don't come back. Won't you near me, go on. I'll be fine without you, believe me when I tell you, Jack, I won't take you back. That's a fact. So go on, I don't need you, go on. You lying cheater, I'm worth so much more. Don't come knocking at my door. There used to be a time when I thought that you were only tell you, Jack, I won't take you back. That's a fact, so go on. Won't you near me, go on. You lying cheater, I ain't worth so much more. Don't come knocking at my door, go on. I don't want you near me, go on. I'll be fine without you, believe me when I tell you, Jack, I won't take you back. That's a fact, so go on. I don't need you, go on. You lying cheater, I ain't worth so much more. Don't come knocking at my door, no more, no more, no more. Don't come knocking at my door, no more, no more, no more.
All right. See if we can. Did that come across okay?
It's kind of in and out from on my end.
Yeah, I noticed that a little bit. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened with that,
No,
but
that's right.
hopefully it plays through okay.
I will say that I still really love the song. It's
Oh,
so good. Yeah,
thank you.
just that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's got that driving rhythm to it, and your vocals are just out of this world. So
Oh man. Well, I know the producer, and of course the producer that produced it is Bill McDermott, and he is in Nashville. And we did it at the Omni Studios, which, oh my gosh, tons of greats have recorded there. And he's produced Tim McGraw and George Strait, Emmylou Harris. Like the list goes on. And he even on that song there was a line in it on the second verse, and he was like, and he stopped it. And he's like, I will bet everything I own right now. He said that one little part. He said, you sound just like Dolly Parton in. And I was like, wow. Okay, I'll take that all day.
yeah,
long.
that's amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'll take that all day. But yeah,
Yeah.
he was amazing in capturing all the types of sounds that I wanted. Because when I told him who I listened to and who I wanted and what kind of mixture I wanted, he got the greatest musicians in. I mean, like they were just out of this world, and they killed it. And like that, the guitar riffs and that he's got like
that,
a harmony.
yeah.
And it's just,
Was that you that was playing that part, or are you doing the
no.
rhythm?
I didn't do any of it. No.
Okay.
Everybody knows I'm just like I just play around on the guitar. I am not, and I don't classify myself as a great guitar player. I know enough to play, and I can strum, and but no, I'll leave that to them. And if I'm playing with the band and I'm up on stage, I can play, but no, I can't do all that fancy. No, I'll leave that to the professionals.
Yeah, I tried teaching myself how to play guitar, but then it broke, and I was just like so upset. I was like, no, and then, I don't remember how, but like the neck pretty much broke off, and I'm just, oh.
Wow.
But after that, yeah, I think something fell over. I don't know honestly what happened. It's been so long ago, but I would when I got it, it was just a cheap acoustic guitar, and I was like, okay, let me just play around and learn how to like what it feels like and all this stuff, and I would just listen. I'm like, try to like mimic what I would hear and play that way, and I learned a little bit. I couldn't play a whole song or anything, but you like 2 or 3 little notes. I'm like, ooh, that was so good. I'll do more tomorrow. But yeah, it was fun.
Well, my dad, he taught me.
Yeah,
he taught me 2 chords first. He taught me a G chord, and he taught me a D chord. And he's like, okay, go back and forth and play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I did that, and I had to. He says, you get good at going back and forth, going from D to G. And he says, when you get to then one foggy Christmas Eve, I'll teach you how to do the C. And so I learned the G, D, and C, and that was it. And then the second song I ever learned how to play, my brother taught me after my dad passed away. My brother taught me how to play Mama He's Crazy. So that was when I was into the judge.
good song. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
that's totally like my family. I grew up in a real musical family. my dad played guitar like yours, and so I grew up playing guitar and playing piano and singing, and next to my mom. And what's great is now my kids sing all the time. My daughter is a far better guitar player than I ever was. So
Oh wow, that's so awesome.
it's amazing though, isn't it, how music you can pass it on, and they just keep it on going.
Yeah.
So
My older daughter, now she can sing beautiful. I mean, she just got a beautiful voice, and she started learning how to play the guitar. My older son, I don't know if you saw the duet, like we'd sung in a car together. You'll have to look at it. We done
Yeah.
The Reason. And I knew he sang, but I did not realize that he had that feeling where you can see it and you feel when he sings. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tristan, that was amazing. So that was the first time I'm like, when did you learn how to sing like that? I even told his dad, I'm like, did you know that our son could sing like that? And he's like, no, he don't share nothing like that with me. And then of course,
so it was like a hidden talent. Yeah.
It was. I did not realize that he could sing like that. I was blown away. And I'm like, Tristan, I'm not saying this to you because I'm your mom, but please keep singing, because you just sound so beautiful. And you can tell it's heartfelt when he does sing. You can feel it when he sings. I'm like, that's something, that's something you can't teach somebody. That's something that comes and pours from their insides out, and you can feel it, So I was like, you got it. That's awesome. And then little Cash, he is a natural born little star. He's named after Johnny Cash. So
Yes.
And he's my little star. He is something else. He keeps me going. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
It's amazing, isn't it, that some people are just like born with it, right? That they're just naturally gifted, whether it's playing an instrument or just being a performer and just being natural with it. You can practice something until you're blue in the face, but if you don't have it, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool to watch when you see it, right? So
it is, and you
that's
can
cool.
you see it. I mean, and this is what I remember back being in a band, and we were not the greatest musicians. I mean, we got better with different musicians that was, brought into the band as the band progressed, but I knew that we wasn't like the greatest band out there. We were, but one thing we had when we got on that stage, we played off of each other. We had fun. We got the crowd into it. You knew that you come from a Teaser and the Firecat show, because you were like, wow, what did I just watch? And some of the ones that are watching this podcast now remember Teaser and the Firecats. And but I remember thinking, I went to shows before where these musicians were just amazing. I mean, they were just like, oh wow, they could just rip that guitar up, and they were just amazing. But I was like, wow, this is so boring to watch. It was just like, I didn't feel nothing. It sounded great, but there was no like I couldn't connect, I guess. And that's one thing I always wanted to do. So going from a band to singing, more on an intimate level and behind a phone, trying to touch people from a phone to an audience out in Facebook world or in virtual world, that was a huge challenge to me, because I had always relied on having that guitar player to go over and dance around, or the turn around to the drummer, or just that excitement. So this has taught me to really I guess I really started working more on my vocal part of it, and just doing different types of songs and really challenging my voice. And because when you're behind a phone and it's just you singing, that's what people are, it's just them listening to you.
Yeah.
You're not dancing around and, putting on a big show, it's just you singing to a phone, and hopefully that touches somebody in virtual world, so it's most definitely been a different experience these last few years, but I can't wait to one day be able to be up on stage again. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to one day go see one of those shows.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like right front stage and center.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be there.
You gotta plan some concerts out this way on the West Coast.
Oh, no,
That would
there
be
you're talking. That would be
Yes.
so awesome. I
Yes.
Come
would
on over to
love that.
LA.
Yes. Yes, I've always wanted to go to LA.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
warm
love
and
it.
sunny. So
Okay, now you're going to have to make that happen, Chris.
I will
Speak it
try to
into
pull some
existence.
strings for you. Yes.
Speak it into existence.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Speak it, believe it, achieve it.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
I could be a motivational speaker. There we go.
You really
of course.
could. You really could.
I would go to those little seminars just because I'm like, yeah, I know that person, kind of. Like, listen, shh. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy how much time flies by.
I know.
I mean,
It's
crazy.
we were Steve and I were talking about feeling nervous going into this interview. Right? What are we going to say? How's it going to go? And you have been just so much fun. You got so much
Oh.
life in you, so much energy. You've
Oh,
made it
wow.
just so easy and fun. So thank you just for putting yourself out there and sharing a little bit about your life and your
Oh,
passion
nice.
for your music.
Well,
We're just so thankful.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough. I mean, honestly, I have enjoyed it immensely. It has been just amazing, and you guys are just like a breath of fresh air, and just have
Well,
so
thank you.
much fun. And I have really enjoyed it, and I hope you'll have to have me back on now.
Absolutely. I was
Absolutely.
gonna say, like,
Absolutely.
gonna
Because
come
you
back
love
on.
me so much,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a lot of fun. That's why I was saying a minute ago. It's so crazy that it's been nearly the hour. We usually go about an hour on these, and it's like,
Oh wow!
wow. Like, because
Oh
this
my
has gone by it's been so natural, and we haven't had to like fight to find something to talk about. You just, like Chris
Hey.
said, you have that life and energy.
You were talking to Lee Newton. I got
Yeah.
in trouble. I got in trouble all through school because I talked too much. On my report card, excessive talking.
Mhm.
I knew one day it would pay off, though. I promise.
Awesome.
I'm like
Well,
this at 6.
Yeah.
I'm like this at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like this at 2 o'clock in the morning. So always.
That's a lot of energy.
And that's without any coffee, right? You came prepared.
There you go.
I have my cup of coffee in the morning, and people laugh because they say that I drink my creamer with my coffee, but I have my cup of coffee in the morning and I sip on it throughout the day, and then I have one at night. It's a habit.
Wow.
Such a habit.
Yeah.
But that's it. I drink tons of water. So that's my 2 beverages that I drink. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to drink more water myself. I mean, I don't know. I'm not huge on coffee, but I do love caffeine. I'm just like, I can't get through a whole day without some caffeine.
Well, I'm so excited about the album coming out, and so I know that I've got several things. I'll throw it out really quick. I do have, and I'm going to be posting another thing tomorrow on it, just because it's getting closer probably to the CD release party. But I do have the white acoustic guitar that I'm actually doing a raffle for, which is going to be really cool. And I'll be giving it away at the CD release party. So it's $5 per entry that people can put their names in. I've had several people put their names in for it. But you get that. You get an autographed copy of the CD. You get an 8x10 autographed. And there's also like this mirrored thing that one of my fans that he makes. They're called, it's got the mirror and it's got Lee Newton music. It's really, really cool from Chuck Schultz. So that will go in with it as well. I do have on TikTok, and I will be doing one for Facebook for a giveaway for Valentine's, but I do have a giveaway going on Facebook or on TikTok that if you share one of my songs, you get put in a drawing for a free Lee Newton t-shirt. And those t-shirts, all my merchandise, I'll have to give a shout out to these guys because they are so amazing. Fire Team Designs, they're out in New York. They are the best. I mean, the working relationship between all of us are so great. They have come up with the most amazing designs for my shirts. I've got 3 different designs so far, so you can go and see them. Fire Team Designs on Facebook, and they ship it right to your door. They've got like the nice coffee cup tumblers. They have the small coffee cups, the face masks, the shirts. And one of the shirts, it's got, which I think a lot of men and women can wear, because it says "My friends try to warn me," which is a quote out of the song "Go On." So they're just amazing. So big kudos to Andrea and Laurel and Nate and Michael from Fire Team Designs, because they're so awesome.
And there we go. Right there. Lino, you're the best. We love you.
Oh, I love you, Andrea. That's
great.
So awesome. So I'm doing that giveaway for a shirt on TikTok. Like I said, I'll probably in the next few days, put out another drawing for another t-shirt. I just gave 2 t-shirts away probably about a week and a half ago. But I love doing stuff like that, because once again, it kind of shows. It just kind of gives back to people. It makes it fun, and I just enjoy it so much.
That's awesome. We love you. We love having you on here, and I look forward to seeing you on here again. Like you said, it's been so much fun, and maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about maybe some stories from your band days and all that kind of stuff. Get into that, because I know you told me you have a lot of stories.
I do.
I could probably fill up 2 or 3 of these. I would say
I could come up with that. I promise.
Oh well, that'd be great. We'll have to talk about that soon, and one day get that going.
Yes, that would be awesome. And if they're not checking me out and they're checking out your podcast, check me out at Lee Newton Music on all the social media, the TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all under Lee Newton Music.
It's awesome. Check it out.
All right.
Subscribe, follow, like, all that kind of stuff.
I know. I don't have a lot on YouTube yet. That's coming. But those other 3, I'm on top of it.
All right. I have to go back and check some more of it out myself. All right. Well, Lee, thank you so much for coming on. It's been such a pleasure talking to you on here.
You too. And
it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. You're amazing.
Well, thank you, but I think you're a little bit more amazing than I am, and than we are. Just a little bit.
Oh, no. Well, thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great night. All right.
You too. Bye.
All right, you too.
Bye.
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 All right, so that was awesome.
That was amazing. Oh my gosh. So much fun. So easy.
Oh, absolutely. I hate that the song kind of was a little weird, but it's cool because I think like a lot of the comments came through and they said that it sounded good regardless. So that's what I'm happy about.
Yeah. And I think next time we'll work out the kinks and make sure that we can play it all the way through. But that was the only little wrinkle in an otherwise phenomenal interview. I think I am amazing. Now. I'm a Lee Newton fan.
Absolutely, I've got to get one of those shirts.
Maybe we should make our plug now. Lee, we'd love a shirt. If you have any extra, if you have one in a XXX or something. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I don't know. Is that tacky to ask for a free shirt?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. And before we go, I do have to say that, as always, like Between a Pot and a Hard Place is brought to you by Mark Guggenheim. I want to show that love again. He's a good friend of the show. He's helped out, and he's come on twice now. Big time successful TV writer and comic book writer comes on here and talks to us of all people. So I think that's awesome. This has been a fun episode, fun show,
right? Yeah, just a lot of lots of comments, lots of feedback, and this was just fun, wasn't it?
I gotta be honest. This is probably my favorite so far that we've done.
Yeah,
as far as like overall episodes and like just because it's so much fun. So we went through it. There was no like awkward silences, no kind of like anything, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I had forward to the next one.
I made sure that I was prepared. I did my homework before I came, but some people are just so easy to talk to,
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
I was so glad for that. I've always, being one of those, quiet, shy introverts, I've always loved people that are, natural talkers. So
Hmm. So we'll probably be back live again in what did we said 2 weeks, right? Because we're gonna, or was it next week?
we're gonna go back. We're gonna go next week. My
Okay,
wife has given me Valentine's Day off. We're gonna celebrate on Saturday instead, just so we're not
Okay.
dealing with the crazy hecticness of Valentine's Day. And so we'll be able
Yeah.
to keep our same bat time for our regular recordings. So
Right. And same bat website.
there we go. There we go.
Same bat. Oh,
I don't
wow.
know why I said that. That's totally.
I don't know. I mean, I like it though. I got it right away.
Good. Good. All right.
That
Well, hey,
was
Stephen, I appreciate this was fun.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, let's keep the momentum going.
Oh, yeah.
So
Keep these going, keep them rolling. One day maybe
Yeah.
we'll have like a TV show
I know.
or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I know our next guest is going to be Danny Jean Black,
Mhm.
who's coming on the 21st. So
The
that one,
21st. Okay.
yeah, that one should be a lot of fun too. So
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of following her on Facebook and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, cool. Between like the MMA and like the martial arts and stuff, I'm like, that's really interesting. I want to hear more about that.
yeah,
I've been looking at the posts and stuff, and I just watched Karate Kid 3 again today. So I was like, okay. And I know that Karate Kid 3 is not the biggest favorite movie of all of the Karate Kids, but I had to watch the first 3 in order. So
yes, Danny is definitely a fan of Karate Kid and absolutely of Cobra Kai, and being that
Okay.
she is also a sensei of her own dojo,
Awesome.
definitely we'll have plenty to talk about in that area.
Oh, for sure.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, even though I think a lot of why I want to bring her on is because of her music. But
Okay.
there's just a lot to who she is and what she does, and another person just like Lee Newton here that is going to be really easy to talk to, because Danny's also big into comic books and pop culture stuff. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a blast.
And we definitely have a lot to talk about as far as all that goes, because we know we're coming up on some of our shows are coming back.
I know Black Lightning comes back tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I still need to
yeah.
catch up on that, and I think I missed last week's Batwoman. I need to catch up on that. But Flash is coming March 7th, I think.
Yeah, it's
Or
about time.
Yeah.
It's about
I know
time.
it got pushed back a week because it was supposed to come out a week before, but then Superman and Lois has their long 2-hour premiere. So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited for that show too. And the Snyder Cut of Justice League.
Yes.
So much good comic book media is coming very soon. I'm excited.
I know. I wish they wouldn't do it all at once.
Yeah.
I can think it's staggered a little bit throughout the year.
Yeah.
I find that I go from like running out of things to watch on TV to running out of hours in the day to watch all this stuff. So
right. I feel like I'm so accomplished if I watch like 6 hours of TV in one day, and then on a day off, like I'm not doing anything. Okay, I just watched like 4 episodes of Titans all the way through. Yay! But then you realize there's like 35 more episodes to go. So you're like, oh, okay, barely scratched the surface of that. Oh.
Well, hey, this has been fun. I'm gonna let you go, but thanks for including me in this. This has been a real blast.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been great.
Yeah.
And we will talk to each other next week. And
all right, I will look forward to it.
Absolutely, me too. Have a good night.
Take care.
You too.